Hi, fellow sleep troubled individuals. I'm back, and I no longer have pink hair, unfortunately. For my infrequent photography job, I was required to dye it because it was considered unprofessional. So, uh, I'm really glad so many people have found this video helpful and have hopefully been learning from it. But my concern has been for quite a few comments and quite even more emails, and keep emailing me. I'm actually a nursing student and I love trying to figure out and work with you, and it's a it's good, I think, to have a little community, especially with something that's so I guess hard to connect with other people on. And I'm like, I'm here for you. Um, but my real problem has been that I've been getting a lot of comments and a lot of emails about people that clearly have some form of sleep disorder. I'm not a doctor. I can't diagnose you with narcolepsy, but I would really suspect narcolepsy. And it seems like they these individuals are unwilling to tend to this. I'm not even sure why. I guess the point of my last video was to give that last little push towards getting proper diagnosis and making life easier. Not just easier, but safer and healthier. I've gotten emails from people that have been in car accidents and they're wanting to know what I think they should do. And quite frankly, uh, not to mince words, not to be offensive, you need to go to a professional, a sleep, health, cardiologist, go to a doctor. You, you know, asking me what to do, I'm just a little like digital person to you. I will never be able to help you personally other than emotional support and emails and whatever you'd like that. You you've done the first step. You're kind of recognizing you have a problem, that maybe something's not working well for you, whether it be your sleep patterns, whether you should even be driving. That's a real concern. I mean, if you've fallen asleep driving and you get tired a lot when you're driving, if it's at all possible, don't drive. Like, not until you must get to a doctor. You must get on medication. You must alter something, because you're not only putting your life at risk, but you're putting the lives of others at risk. And in a way that's even more selfish. I hate saying selfish. It's not quite right. I understand that going to the doctor, everything can seem a bit it is a bit frightening, and it's not fun to go in and uh, have these test runs done, especially if you're in an area where a sleep doctor isn't readily available. And I've even heard that people have been laughed at by their doctor and had them not taken seriously. And quite frankly, I would consider that medical malpractice. That's really rude and very unprofessional. So, uh, all right. So let me just run through the steps of what I believe everybody that has been writing into me, like with these "what should I do" questions, should do. The first thing I'm going to address is find a sleep doctor. If you are tired on a consistent basis, it's been ongoing for, I guess ongoing, I would say ongoing is more than 6 months. You're consistently tired, or you fall asleep all the time, fall asleep in class. There's so many symptoms that could be, and you need to find a doctor. It's pretty easy to do unless you live in like rural Alaska, and I'm sure there's sleep doctors in Anchorage and Juneau. Of course, that's a bit of a stretch, but the internet is obviously a great resource. Type it in, you'll find it. Then make an appointment. You'll go in, you'll fill out a some sort of sleep scale, and it kind of rates how tired you are and how serious these needs are. And then, I don't know, the doctor asks a lot of questions. He won't laugh at you. He shouldn't laugh at you. And if he does, like, don't ever go to him. I mean, obviously, unless you're being funny. But, what else? So, you go to the doctor, you get that step going, make sure it's a doctor you like. I love my sleep doctor, and it's good to build up a strong relationship because this is going to be like an ongoing issue with getting your medications balanced, with getting your sleep balanced, and some points I have to amp up my medicine, I have to lower it sometimes. It takes a little while to find a good balance. So, you start that good relationship. Next, you have to do the multiple sleep latency test. It's very important for the doctor to be able to see your brain waves throughout the night. And this sleep test is it's just not very much fun. There's no way to make it fun, but it isn't painful and it's nothing more than a little bit of discomfort for one night. They put a lot of little like these goopy little electrodes on your head, some on your legs to make sure you see if you've got a restless leg syndrome. They do little oxygen tubies up your nose to make sure you don't have sleep apnea, which is not something I know a whole lot about, but to be frank, I'm very glad I don't have it because it seems a little more tedious and less enjoyable and fixable than narcolepsy. But all these things need to be tested. Make sure you're not having seizures, which was my doctor's original theory that I was having seizures. Um, it does a whole bunch of tests. And the cool thing is you get to see your brainwaves throughout the night and get to see when you're dreaming and how often you wake up. You may not even know it, but I didn't know I was really waking up more than once or twice a night. And it ends up being I wake up on average of 15 to 25 times a night. And that's why I'm tired. And the doctor can explain so many more things to you. Um, so that is crucial. Other questions I've been getting are about how to balance school and going to school with this stuff. And it's tough. Obviously I'm in school, and it's it's hard to pay attention through classes when they're boring, and it's also hard to keep on top of my studying when some days I come home and I'm so tired. I'd love to go to bed at 8 o'clock, which is so lame. But reading the textbook's not fun, and it's very important not to procrastinate, and it's so hard to do. But if you just do a little bit and a little bit and a little bit, everybody's bright. There's no brain damage with you. Like, you can do this, and you just have to focus and work a little bit harder. Posture helps because it actually, as you sit up straighter, your body and oxygen goes in better, everything moves a little better, and you stay more alert. I found that's really been very helpful for me. Another thing that helps me stay awake in class, and you can laugh if you want, I have silly putty, and it really helps me during really long, boring lectures to play with silly putty and make little shapes and stuff. Because I'm a very physical person when I'm not sitting in these lectures, and I actually like try and make like the body parts and stuff with silly putty. That has been huge, and your professor won't mind. You might think you're a little bit strange, but also it's good if you're willing to admit to the professor, you have narcolepsy, and it's not disrespectful if you fall asleep, you're not being lazy, all those things. It's good to tell people. Um, and oh, also, I have been wondering, I wanted to shoot this question out to you guys, if any of you feel extra tired when the seasons change. It's something I've had issues with for a long time. Like, I guess when I say season change, I mean from cold to warm and then back to warm to cold. When this happens every year, there's 2 periods of like, I guess maybe a week, week and a half, 2 weeks. I can hardly get out of bed. It's so exhausting. I didn't know if this was something others were experiencing, and I'd love to hear about it and what you've been doing to fix it. Caffeine does not work for me. It makes me jittery and sweaty, so I've heard a lot of people have had that. I don't really recommend high doses of caffeine for narcoleptics because it's not going to help you where you need the help. It doesn't impact that part of the brain with the blood-brain barrier, etc. Yeah. Well, I guess that's my quick rambling of the day. I would love to hear anybody else's stories, success stories, but most of all, I want you guys to take it seriously. You won't regret it. You need to find a doctor, especially if you've been having accidents. Like, Wow. All right. Thanks, YouTube. And keep up the good work. Get a good night's sleep. Bye.